Hello beautiful people, in this video I'm going to be going over the swatch comparisons that I have in my Natasha Denona collection in one palette that is not Natasha Denona, but if you have that palette and if you're just looking for like comparisons on the different blues, I'm going to include that one as well. But yeah, I have a handful of Natasha Denona palettes to go through just to give you some comparisons on this palette here. I have not every shade, but I do have some shadows to compare to other Natasha Denona shades in my collection. If I just said that in different words, I'm sorry. I don't usually do videos like this. And I did this look this morning and I did film it. It was using the shade Act, but in that tutorial I put yellow on the waterline, and then halfway through the day I switched it to green because I felt like it would really look nice with it. So yeah, I put green in the waterline and I added a different lip. I have the KVD Requiem on my lips, and yeah. So let's get started. Alright, the first palette that I wanted to compare is to, and I'm going to be doing all the swatches on like my wrist area here because I can't show you on my hand. I don't have enough hands space. I guess I could, but I don't know. I just always find that eyeshadows swatch better on my arm whenever I'm swatching them, so I'm going to swatch them on my arm. Now the first shadow I'm going to show you is the shade Firework. Now keep in mind my palette is still rearranged from when I rearranged it the last time, and I haven't put it back yet. But yeah, Firework is nearly the same color as the shade Carnelian in the Sunrise palette. I will show you Firework first. That's this orange color here. Maybe I won't do it on my arm. This might be difficult to do. Now I was going to do all the swatches and then come and film the video, but I just sat down and hit record, so if it's a little longer, oops. Okay, so the first shade is Firework and the second shade is Carnelian. So you can tell for yourself the similarities and the differences in them. I think Carnelian is a little bit more like yellow, whereas Firework is leaning a little more orange and maybe not as bright and vibrant. Okay, that's it for that one. I don't have anything for the shade Magic, which is that shade right there. Used to be down here. Razzle Dazzle was next. I'm going to do Acrobat next, because that was the one that triggered me to do these swatch comparisons. And that shade, Acrobat, I thought would be similar to the Natasha Denona Gold, the shade Python, which is that color right there. Now these are cream to powder, so I'm going to try and do these swatches with my finger, even though they might look better with a brush. Man, doing swatches on my arm is harder than I thought it would be. Okay. So if you can see here, I'm just going to go on them twice just to give them a good pigment so you can see. Alright, so as you can see here, Python, come on, get in frame, get in focus. Is that not in focus? Is it not focusing? Hopefully that's in focus, but as you can see here, this is Python, and that is Acrobat. So Acrobat is quite more blue, and Python is a lot more green in tone. I really hope my camera is focusing now and not becoming blurry. Sorry, I was fiddling with my settings earlier and I think I might have hit something. Anyways, okay, so that was Python. For the shade Funto Mime, which is right there, it's in the snow cone spot. I don't have anything similar to that in my collection from Natasha Denona. It's pretty unique for her in the palettes that I have. Now I don't have a lot of the neutral ones, but I do have most, if not all, of the colorful ones. I'm just trying to think. Give me one moment here. Alright, so I thought maybe in the purple blue, the shade Ko Tao would be similar, but it's not. It's very much like a blue blue. and Funto Mime is more of a sky blue. So that's Funto Mime, and that's Kyoto from the 28 palette. Now I need to wipe my hands off. Where did my thing go? Ugh, okay, excuse my messy bed, or actually it kind of looks clean right now. Alright, so for the shade Cotton Candy, this one is reminded me of the one from the Love palette. Please focus. And I'm not sure if it's going to turn out like true to color, because my camera seems to be funny showing colors. They seem to don't show colors as true as like normal, like non-colored colors. Does that make sense? Okay, so the shade Valentine from the Love palette, I'm going to swatch that next. Now I know there's probably like other videos, like Kinky Sweat does videos with swatch comparisons, but I don't know, I thought I would do my own version of it just because I thought of it. So from the Love palette, and then that is Cotton Candy from the Circo Loco. And I also want to swatch from the Triochrome palette, the shade Naga, because it is also, I think it's more cool tone, much more cool tone. It comes across more purple, actually. Let me just put these aside, keep organized so I don't drop any palettes. Okay, so this one is from the Triochrome Naga. That one is I hope you guys remember what I swatched. I think this one's from the Cotton Candy, Love palette, and Triochrome. When you swatch the Triochrome one against the other ones, the Triochrome looks much more like violet purple. These pretty colors, so pretty. Okay, am I running out of... I don't have anything for electric. I did hold it up to some of the gold shadows in the gold palette, and it actually leaned a lot more like cool tone. When I wore it the other day, it actually leaned a little more green compared to the gold palette. If anything, yeah, there's like nothing really to swatch compare it to. Razzle... No, what am I saying here? Not Razzle Dazzle. The shade Grin. Having my palette messed up is throwing me off. Okay, so I just swatched it next to the shade Brass. So at the top is Brass, and the bottom one is Grin. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to do is the shade Act, which I placed in the Grin spot right there. And I don't have anything like this purple in my collection, which is one of the main reasons why I want to buy it. But there is one shadow, and it is the Mini Lila. This one actually reminded me of it just a little bit. So I'm going to just swatch it right here. So there is Act. And then this one, I'm going to try and get a decent swatch of it. It's not as pigment, not as vibrant. It's more like, not as metallic. But that is it right there. As you can see, this one has like a lot more like a violet, brighter blue base, just more like intense. And this one's a little more toned down from the Mini Lila. I also don't think the Mini Lila was a huge hit. I heard a lot of people not saying very good things about it. I liked it. So take that, do with it what you will. Canon. Now here was an interesting one because I look at it and I don't think I have anything in my collection for it. But then the Metropolis palette pops into my head. And can I swatch right here? I think I can. Okay, so I'm going to swatch two shadows from the Metropolis. And I'm going to swatch the shades. This is really difficult to do backwards. Penny and Fuse. So this one's Penny, and this one's Fuse. And I'm going to do the shade Cannon first. So this is Cannon. So Cannon. And I'm going to do Penny on my middle finger. And then, oh, not Fuse, sorry. It was the shade Rust. This one right here. I love that color. So I'll swatch those three on my fingers here. Look how shiny they are, so pretty. Alright, so Cannon's going to be first. And then Penny. Ugh. Now I have gold like all over my hands. Man, this is going to be a messy video. Okay, ready? So Cannon, Penny, and then that one is Rust. I hope it's focusing. I hope you can see the difference in color. So they're very similar. Rust is a little more like intense in your face, which is this one right here. But that one's Cannon. So they're similar. I mean, on the eyes will you be able to tell if you're looking for like something that's not as like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so far these are the swatch comparisons right here. Pretty similar. I mean, if you think about it, like on the eyes, like will you be able to tell the difference between those? These two, yes. The two pinks here, maybe not, depending on your skin color. And these ones, I mean, I would be able to tell because this one is just so much more. No, sorry, this one. Yeah. And then the golds, like maybe not. I don't know. So it's up to you. I mean, if you have a huge Natasha Denona collection, then maybe not. Alright, I'm going to start doing it on this side now because this arm is full. Hopefully I don't get it on my clothes. Okay, so for the shade Snow Cone, which is in the flip spot, the one I used on my lower lash line today, I'm going to compare that to, I mean, this one's not even available anymore, but if you have the palette, it is this one from the Holiday eyeshadow palette Aries. So that's from that one, and then from the Tropic palette, I have the Mint shade. I keep these separate because they're shattered and I don't want to put them in the palette and have them be destroyed anymore, so I have them separate in another place. Anyways, I will get on with it. Okay, so I'll start right here. So there is Snow Cone. There is, what is it called? Mint Frost. And then we have this beautiful blue from the Aries palette. So it's, I don't know, they're different. They are different. Do you need them all? That's for you to decide, not me. That is for you to decide, not me. Okay. Funto Mime. Nope. Flip. In Funto Mime's place. I don't have anything that is like it. I mean, I have this one from the Tropic palette, but it is not the same whatsoever. One's a forest green and one's more of aqua green. I'm not going to bother swatching it. I don't think there's a point. Okay, moving, I did Cannon, I did the purple. Now for the bottom row here, Joker. I don't think I have anything like that, but the only thing similar I could have is Glory. So there's Joker. It's coming across on the viewfinder as a lot more cool toned than it is. Oh, this feels so soft. Okay, so here's the comparisons between Joker and Glory. Where would I put these? I swatched them on the wrong. Okay, I'm just going to put them on the back of my hand and hope that they show up. Yeah, they are. My hands are kind of dry, so sometimes eyeshadows don't show up very nice if your hands are dry. Okay, I was wrong. They look very similar, actually. Wow. That's Joker. And that's Glory from the Sunrise palette. Man, in the pan they don't, I mean, they look similar enough, but can you see? That one's Glory right there. Interesting. Man, like when you really break it down like that. Huh. Sorry, I'm just watching them again to make sure I didn't get them confused. Okay, I might have like messed up one of the swatches because swatching them a second time, they look a little different. So this one's Glory, and that one's Joker. I think I mixed my swatches up the first time, but they are pretty similar. They're not the exact same, but they're pretty similar. Alright, do I have anything else from this palette to swatch? I don't think so. I think we can put that one away. Okay, so the shade Act. No, not the shade Act. Oh my gosh, having these rearranged is really throwing me off. The shade Electric. The only one I can compare that to, well, the two I'm going to compare it to, one of them is from Natasha Denona, which is from the Tropic palette, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere similar to it because this shade here, Tiger Lily, first of all, the formula is not that great, and second of all, the shade Act is so beautiful, and just, I just think it's different. And then I actually swatched it compared to the Pat McGrath palette. This one's actually a lot darker, but I will show you. Okay, so I'll do Electric first. Alright, that's Electric. And then I'll do Tiger Lily, but I feel like I might need to like do it with a brush. Oh, I got a swatch. Alright, so it's not as shiny. It's a little more like toned down and just not as shiny. And then from Pat McGrath, it's a little more similar to Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath, I think, has a darker base to it. So that's Pat McGrath. That is Tiger Lily. And that is Electric. Alright, that's it for that one. The next shade is Aerialist. I have nothing in my collection from Natasha Denona like the shade Aerialist. It stands by itself. Maybe among other palettes you might, but I don't. That shade is unique. Yep, it's unique to my collection. And the shade Razzle Dazzle, which was up here before, now it's down here for now. I don't have anything like that either from her. Trying to think. Anything from the Sunrise palette? Nope, won't even compare. No, I think that's it. Yep. Nothing else. That shade also stands alone, I think. Let me just double check. Yep. I was going to compare it to this shade here, but it's not even... One's more of a matte and one's more of a like metallic. And the last shade is Spiral, and the only one I have for that is... so I'm just going through the palettes here just to make sure I don't have anything else to show you. Ooh, I think I'm going to swatch Trust with Magic. But first, I thought maybe I would compare the shade Spiral to the shade Helena from the Metropolis palette. I'm running out of room. I have only a couple more left, so... Okay, so here's the shade Spiral and the shade Helena from the Metropolis palette. So they're different, but also kind of similar, but also different. Sorry, Spiral, Helena. I need to stop buying palettes, man. If I really looked at it, like, I mean, did I really need this palette? No. But I wanted it. And I like having, honestly, my thought process behind getting this, because even though I have a lot of colors in my collection, I don't have them all in one palette. Like, this could be my go-to, like, fun palette, you know? As much as I like dipping into different palettes, I have a hair that's tickling me somewhere. As much as I like dipping into different palettes, it is nice just to, you know, come to like maybe one or two and have everything I need in it. Did I just say that out loud? That is so not like me. Okay, and the last shade I'm going to do is the shade Magic, which lives up here right now. It was down here. Maybe I should have rearranged this palette back to its original state before I filmed this video. Oh well. Okay, so there's the shade Magic, and I'm going to swatch it next to Trust and Dream. I don't know why I was going to say Daydream. Trust is not going to be anything like similar to it because it's more of like a red, and Magic is a blue based. But let's do, my fingers are getting like stained. Alright, I'm going to get some Dream next. Because it's cream to powder doesn't really, yeah, that's completely different. Completely different. Let's get a good swatch here for you. Sometimes cream to powder after a while they don't swatch the best because like they're creamy. But yeah, that's Dream, so nothing like Magic. Nothing. Alright guys, if anything, you probably have a better luck finding something from similar to Magic inside this palette if you have it. Or maybe not even this one. Maybe like the volume 2. Anyways. It's over. Where'd it go? Why not? I'm here. So B2 looks kind of similar. Yeah, so B2 looks more similar to it. Magic, B2. Alright guys, there you have it. There's my swatch comparisons compared to, just checking over here to make sure there's nothing else I have over here to swatch. Nope, there's not. So there is the swatch comparisons for other Natasha Denona palettes that I have. This was my first video like this. It was very interesting to do. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? I just like looking at all the pretty colors. Alright guys, that is it. Oh, and, you know, all my mess of the Joker and the Glory. That is it for this video. I was going to do swatches of the Jaclyn Hill lipstick that I got. I'm going to do a review on it, but I think I'll do that in a different video because this one is probably going to be a little bit longer because I also have 3 or 4 lip colors that are basically similar, and I found one that's like the exact same. Anyways, I'm going to save that for a different video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!